Tornado Mustang. We are in the Elantra N.
I see a Mustang.
And we're about to go. You see a Mustang?
Yeah.
Donde?
I see a Mustang.
What color was it?
Color Mustang.
What color was the Mustang? Okay. Did you actually see a Mustang?
Yeah.
Okay. We're on the road in the 2023 Hyundai Elantra N. This is going to be the first time we've taken this.
I see a Mustang.
Children are a blessing.
I see a Mustang.
Are you sure? I just see trees. I don't see any Mustangs, sir.
Mustang.
Leia, we're trying to make a video here.
What kind of Mustang?
What kind of Mustang? I see a red Mustang. Okay. Are you recording? Taco Potato Mustang, Matt. We're in the Elantra N. We're on a road trip. This is the first time that we're driving the Elantra N on a road trip. Like longer than like 100 miles, probably. We are probably going to drive like at least 1,200 miles in the next week and a half. And this is sort of a test to see how the Elantra N holds up as a family road trip vehicle. We've got me, my beautiful wife, the 2-year-old in the back, and Lady Lou also in the back. So we're starting off. It's about 8 p.m. day before the 4th of July. We'll see how things go. What do you see?
Elantra.
You see the Elantra?
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's here.
It's here. Wow. Good eye, buddy.
Oh.
It's the next day. We're all a little bit tired. We
What's-
drove like 240 miles yesterday.
What's this?
That's a phone.
What's this?
What's what? Those are rocks. Rocks.
What's the lady doing?
Day 2.
What's lady
Road tripping in the
doing?
Elantra.
What lady doing?
Ladies looking at the rocks. Okay, so my biggest complaint so far, after driving like, I don't know, 300 miles, is the lack of lumbar support. This is not the first time I've talked about this. I have a pillow, which helps, I think, a little bit, but these need to be like, you need some adjustable lumbar support. Hyundai adjustable lumbar support. I'm in the back seat of the Elantra N. We're eating some kettle corn popcorners. See the headroom here. Not great if I put my head up completely straight, but I'm pretty tall, so with my wife driving, I have a decent amount of leg room. That's all for now. Hang on, buddy. Just ran over some debris and this shit broke. So now I gotta try and remove it to where we can at least drive. I don't know. Amazing. Zip ties, thanks to my wife's quick thinking. We made it to our destination, our first destination. We've traveled like 600 miles. I don't know, 600 miles. And aside from the incident with the, I don't know what you call it, the thing that blocks the stuff from getting into the engine bay from beneath. Aside from the incident with that, and my lower back being in some pain, mostly successful. More thoughts later. Okay, so I stopped by at Advanced Auto Parts to see if I could find some fasteners for the, I think it's the splash shield is what we're gonna call it. And they did not have, they have this like spinning carousel of like fasteners and clips and all sorts of crap. And I tried like 10 different ones that looked like they might fit. Didn't have anything that was specifically for a Hyundai. The closest thing I found to it that seems like it'll work is some Nissan Splash Shield rivets, and also two different types of Nissan Splash Shield rivets. Dorman 961031D. 961031D. So I got two of those. Seem like they'll work. And then Dorman 963553D. So this second one, these seem to fit really well, like almost better than the OEM rivets, but getting opening them is kind of a pain. Like getting them out once they're in is a pain, just because of I don't know if you can see this, but like where you would stick like a little like tiny flathead or something like that. It's just not a lot of space, but other than that, it fit really great. I broke part of this when I was trying to get it back out, but it seems in a decent enough shape that I can still use it. They only had like one package of these, and I got only two packages of the other one. So I'm going to try to put these in the place where I have the zip ties, and see if these will do the trick for now. But I felt like it made more sense to do this than to go to the dealership and try to find something that probably costs a little bit more money. We'll see. And speaking of the dealership, I'm at 5442 for my mileage on the Elantra N, and I'm getting, every once in a while I'm getting a thing, like a little notice on the dash that's saying service needed in like 500 something miles. And according to the service intervals of the owner's manual, you're supposed to get your oil change at 6,000 miles. And so I'm approaching that. And on this road trip, I think I might go over it. But I talked to the guy, and I was going to get an oil change. And he said the synthetic oil that is in these cars is good for like over 7,000 miles. And that the oil changes are kind of expensive. I think he said like $120 or something, like between 100 and 120 bucks or something like that. I'm going to look up and see how much it is to buy the oil and the oil filter, just to see if it would make any sense to do that and just do it myself. But he said I don't need an oil change right away, and that I could, go over the 6,000 miles before I get the oil change. So we'll see. I might, when we get to our next stop in a few days, I might see about if there's a Hyundai dealer around, or see if I can find the oil and filter and do it myself. But that's interesting, because I feel like what I was used to when I was younger, when I had my Trans Am back in the day, was like between three, I think we usually heard between 3,000 and 6,000 miles, but I tended to err on the side of 3,000 miles. I don't know if that made any difference in how well the car ran. And on the Mustang, the Dude Stang, which I bought 10 years ago today, I think I did every 5,000 miles for the oil changes, with some variation, like a few hundred miles here and there. But yeah, so I'm gonna try and use these little push rivets for the bumper and the splash shield from various Nissans, and see how they do as a replacement for the OEM parts. Also, when I was at the Hyundai dealer, I did notice that there was a new Elantra, and they changed the body style for 2024, and also a new color. I can't remember the name of it. It's a type of red. It's like a maroon, like a dark red. And I saw one of those in person, and it looked pretty good. I don't think I would switch to a newer one unless there was a significant performance difference. I think from a visual standpoint, this one has really grown on me, so I don't think I would switch to a 2024. Certainly not for more money and a potential longer wait. But I think I'm quite happy with this car, and the new one looks good. I don't love the black wheels, but I think that red with some like a lighter wheel, like a silver, would look really good. So anyways, carrying on. Okay, so just a follow-up to what we hit on the road the other day. You can see that there's some it looks like tire rubber transferred onto the bumper. It's most obvious right here, but also on the red trim, but I noticed that a little bit further over, some of the red trim is starting to come off, which I've heard is a pretty normal thing on these cars, unfortunately. Yeah, and then I did manage to get the splash shield, if you can see, put back in place using the Nissan plugs, whatever they're called. I think this one is actually one of the OEM plugs, and this is one of the ones that I got from the parts store. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it actually seems like these are a better fit than the ones that came from the factory, interestingly. Also, on a sort of related, on a note related to the practicality of the Elantra N, we did a bit of an experiment yesterday, and we had 3 kids in the back seat: my nephew, my niece, and my son. One rear-facing car seat, one forward-facing car seat, and then one sitting in the middle. And it actually worked out surprisingly well. So I think the back seat is more useful and efficient even than I had already expected, or had previously expected. So yeah, although I have veggie straws occupying the floor space, and a spider car. Good times. It's like a week later since I did my road trip, and after the last thing I recorded, we drove another 500 miles, and it was fine. No issues. I didn't run over anything on the way home, and didn't have any issues with the car. The whole incident with the splash shield, though, it made me think a little bit about how I don't like the fact that the Elantra N does not come with a spare tire. So I went ahead and ordered a spare from a company called, I think it's called Modern Spare, and they make a spare tire where the rim is big enough to go over the brakes on the Elantra N. So I haven't received it yet. I'm hoping to get it sometime in the next week, but I think for peace of mind in the future, I'd like to have a spare tire in the back of the Elantra, especially on long trips. Yeah, so, but overall, I think it was actually better of an experience than I expected. I think probably the biggest complaint is the lumbar support issue, which is that the seats, they're not bad. They're mostly comfortable, but I think for taller people, like if you're taller, have a longer torso like me, you might have some discomfort with the in your lower back with the lack of lumbar support. So I'd highly recommend a lumbar support pillow or something like that. So, but yeah, overall, pretty good road trip car. Certainly a lot more fun than driving the Forester, which we've done a lot in the past. So yeah, anyways, you can probably tell that I am back in the Taco Potato Mustang garage, so I'm hoping to make a little bit of progress on the suspension of the Fox body. I haven't done anything for at least a couple weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks, because I was on my road trip, and then I had to travel for work for a little while, but now I'm here, so I'm hoping to get a little time, maybe tonight and then tomorrow, to keep moving along in the suspension. Anyways, thanks for watching my Elantra N road trip video, and keep an eye out for more on the Fox Mustang project and the Elantra N and whatever else. Anyways, peace out.